The original call that came into 911 was a truck driver that was passing by and saw the vehicle that was engulfed in flames. That call then went into the Mountain Springs Fire Department to the chief of the fire department, a volunteer firefighter. He responded out to the car fire. He was able to extinguish the fire. He shined his flashlight into the back seat area, which had been completely consumed by the fire. Just had the frame for the back seat, and through the back wall of the vehicle into the trunk, he was able to see what he thought to be human remains. Once we had personnel on scene, we were able to pry the trunk of the vehicle open. It was pretty much our impression at that point that we were more than likely dealing with a female body. We could tell that an accelerant was used because you could smell it. It was clear to us that it was something similar to charcoal lighter fluid. The chief of the fire department was able to copy down the license plate of the vehicle when he initially responded, and we were informed that the vehicle was registered to a Kelly Ryan, one of the top women's fitness competitors for years.
When Kelly Ryan first appeared on the scene, it was like a bullet. It's hard for anybody, even with no interest in fitness competitions, to not be glued to her performance, because the degree of athleticism was so intense, you just couldn't keep your eyes off her.
23-year-old Kelly begins winning first place right out of the gate.
Because of her agility, her skill, her gymnastic background, her charisma on stage, she immediately started winning competitions, and she became a force to be reckoned with in the fitness world.
Flying Ryan catches the eye of the top male bodybuilder, 30-year-old Craig Titus.
Craig was 100% the it guy. He was a merchandiser's dream back then, because not only was he the big muscular guy, but he was a good-looking guy. I mean, he looked great on the cover of magazines.
This guy is a big deal metaphorically, but also a big deal physically and literally. This guy is huge.
He is known as the bad boy of bodybuilding. And now he's making his move on the fitness queen.
I knew that, knew that he liked her, but I don't know that she fell head over heels for him as fast as he did for her.
When they became a couple, they became what the bodybuilding world loves to refer to as a power couple. They would get more gigs, they would get more guest posing, they would get more opportunities.
It's enough to infuriate anyone competing against her.
But this is a great feeling for Kelly. They have a lot of appearances and meetings to manage. So they need to get an assistant. And luckily, they have the perfect person in mind, Melissa James.
I met Melissa James when she was just fresh out of school. She was 19 years old. She was a teacher at one of my friend's dance studios, and she started teaching my daughter dance at 3. She was great with the children. They loved her. She worked there probably about maybe a year, and then she opened up her own studio. Melissa was big into not just dance, but fitness. She was huge into fitness, into her body and choreographing and videos. She had met Craig and Kelly at a bodybuilding competition here.
Melissa was working in a promotional capacity, and they were there as well, being paid to be there as part of the event. And they all just really clicked. Melissa really looked up to Kelly quite a bit, and they really were close. Kelly trusted her.
It's not long before Melissa is working as an assistant for the dynamic and powerful duo, moving between Florida and their home in Venice Beach, California.
Melissa's biggest dream was to be a dance choreographer. Her impression was that they were going to introduce her to people in the industry that could help her grow in that area.
For 6 years, the fitness competitions has been Kelly's life. She is now a veteran of this industry. She has earned every #1, every #2 she's ever gotten. She has put her whole energy, her whole body, her whole being into these competitions. But she wants to win Miss Fitness Olympia.
Claiming Miss Fitness Olympia makes it official. Whoever holds this coveted title has the bragging rights as the country's top fitness queen of the sport. And Kelly is determined to claim her it season and to snag the title from the reigning winner, Susie Curry.
This is a very tumultuous time for Kelly.
Second place, Kelly Ryan.
Even though Kelly has the most raw athletic talent that's usually on stage, she's still not winning Ms. Olympia. Nothing is working for her. Kelly is starting to go, well, why? Is it about my body? Is it about something cosmetically I could change? So Kelly gets an incredible amount of plastic surgery done. She gets a boob job, she gets a nose job, she gets lip injections. She looks like a totally different person.
You change your eye color, you change your hair color, you get boobs. You do all these things because we're gonna do whatever we have to do to win.
And many people believe that this was all at Craig's behest, his instruction. At the same time, Craig is going through his own battle. He also has not become Mr. Olympia. He would do anything to win, and that was including steroid use, and in Craig's case, overuse of steroids.
It isn't enough for both competitors who are desperate to win big.
They were supposed to be Mr. and Ms. Olympia.
But their lifestyle in Las Vegas may be standing in the way of their success.
Kelly and Craig's parties were, I wouldn't say famous, probably notorious, because they just turned into full-out orgies of drugs and sex.
And Craig doesn't mind all the attention his adoring fans are willing to give, whether Kelly likes it or not.
I think when she saw all the women he was attracting, she must have known that he was sleeping with these other women as well.
Kelly is focused on her career. She may have let him know, listen, you can put one big toe outside the line, but don't go too far.
Still, Craig can't stop himself. He's had his eye on a younger woman who's under the same roof.
There was one story where he had Melissa get her nails done. And so when she came home, Kelly saw that her nails were done and he was pointing out how beautiful her nails were just to get Kelly's ire up. I mean, who does that? It's pure entertainment for the narcissist.
Melissa shared with me that he wanted to have a relationship and she was not comfortable with that because he was married. I think Kelly got very jealous of Melissa.
This is all a lot for Melissa to deal with. So she realizes this might not be professionally what I signed up for. I'm not really getting the mentorship that I was looking for. Her career hasn't launched in the same way that she had hoped.
So Melissa makes the tough call to go home to Florida permanently and restart her life there.
She was very disappointed because she really thought that they would help her with her dream, and it didn't turn out that way at all. She said, I'm done. I'm not going to talk to them anymore. She was not going to go back. And she then decides to open up another studio. And I remember that very clearly because she was very excited about it.
Kelly Ryan's burnt car has just been found in the Nevada desert with a female body in the trunk. Detectives race to her home to notify her husband.
Detective Wilson and Detective Mogg arrived at the registered address for Kelly Ryan, and they knocked on the door to inform whoever was living there that more than likely we had the body of Kelly Ryan found inside her burned out Jaguar. But instead, to their surprise, Kelly Ryan is the one that answered the door.
Back in Florida, Melissa's dance studio had actually closed. It seems like perfect timing then when Craig and Kelly get in touch with her and tell her that they are launching their own apparel brand and they will have a retail store that she would be perfect in the position of manager. She believed with that 2 years of space, everyone had matured a little bit, the air had certainly cleared. She thought this might be the perfect opportunity that she needed at the right time.
She moved right back in, like nothing had ever changed. Like she just popped right back into the household to help them with the clothing business and to be their assistant and to help them in every facet.
But after a few weeks, it becomes clear nothing has changed after all.
Craig is paying more attention to Melissa again. You have Kelly that's been surgically altered and gone through all these issues, and she's older, versus Melissa, she's not surgically changed in any way. And so that increased the tension between the two women. When the detectives knocked on the door and they were met by Kelly Ryan, they were taken aback by it, no question.
After the shock wears off that Kelly Ryan is not the victim that was found in the desert, they definitely need to speak with her to figure out who this mystery victim is now.
Part of what Kelly told us is that at about 5 o'clock in the morning, she had gone into the garage and she saw that the Jaguar was missing. And she suspected that their live-in assistant, Melissa James, had snuck back into the house and had stolen the car. Kelly didn't report it to the police because they were hoping that she would bring it back and they didn't want to get her in trouble by reporting the car stolen. Kelly told detectives that they, over the past couple of weeks prior to the Jaguar being missing, that they had discovered that Melissa was using their credit card outside of what she had been given authorization to do. She explained that they went into Melissa's room and searched through it, and that's when they found the credit card. They also found receipts and other information regarding their account information and Kelly's personal information. According to Kelly, she told detectives that she had an argument with Melissa over the accusations of taking money from them, and that they were done, and that Melissa was being essentially kicked out of the house.
While Kelly gives her version of events over the past few days, Craig is interviewed separately.
He also said that they suspected that Melissa was stealing from them. He told Detective Mogg that he knew about Melissa using the credit cards and that he had given her permission to do that. But when the fight occurred between Kelly and Melissa, he took Melissa to the local hotel just for everything to cool down. He purchased a one-way ticket for Melissa to go back home, and he brought her back to the house on the afternoon of the 13th so that Melissa could pack up her things in order to make the trip back for Christmas.
At this point, the detectives believe the body that was found in the trunk was Melissa James.
We had the location of the local hotel where Craig said that he took Melissa. We were able to go there and confirm that. We had the debit card, and we were able to see purchases that occurred at a local Walmart. We were able to pull surveillance video for the time period of the last purchase, which is approximately 4 o'clock in the morning on the 14th.
Detectives are stunned at what they see.
We saw who we recognized to be Kelly Ryan wearing a red jumpsuit with white stripes on it. And we were able to track her all the way through the store. We found that she purchased 7 large bottles of charcoal lighter fluid, and then she left the store. We saw the red Jaguar pull up in front of the door. You could tell that the driver was a very large individual, we believe to be Craig Titus, get out of the driver's seat as Kelly brought the lighter fluid and they put it behind the driver's seat of the vehicle. Craig got back in the driver's seat, Kelly got into the passenger seat. Nobody opened the trunk of the vehicle to put the recently purchased items. Based on the evidence we had, that was enough for us to then put together a declaration of arrest for Craig and Kelly. On the 20th, we call it the criminal apprehension team to go to their address and take Craig and Kelly into custody.
But when they go to get Kelly and Craig, they're gone. They've taken off.
I got a phone call from a criminal defense attorney saying that he had a client by the name of Megan Foley. She was a friend of Craig and Kelly.
Kelly told Megan that she and Melissa had gotten into a fight about the theft earlier that day.
And during the fight, Kelly said something about Melissa pulling this taser on her. And then Kelly tells Megan that she was able to get the taser away from her and that she used the taser on Melissa, but that didn't have the effect that she wanted to have on it.
Megan told police that Kelly screamed for help from Craig, who came running, and at that point, he grabbed Melissa and he body slammed her into the floor. And from that point on, he began beating her. He began beating her senseless. Kelly did not seem horrified by this. In fact, she joined in.
Craig ended up confessing to Megan that he had killed Melissa. And even to the point where he told her that Melissa was in the trunk of the Jaguar.
Finally, they find an appropriate break to say, wow, it's getting really late, we've got to go. And as they're heading out the door, Craig says, hey, while you go, just take this with you, will you? And he hands them a black duffel bag.
And she's like, you know, that's not ours. I mean, you know, why are you giving me that? And then Craig suggested that he had already talked to her husband about it. So after they got back to the house, Megan and her husband opened the bag and they find inside the bag the case and the taser contained inside it.
Megan also reveals Kelly and Craig are headed to Boston and then out of the country.
And that blew things wide open. They intended to meet up with this bodybuilder friend in Boston. We were in touch with that person. We now had that person, for fear of being involved, on the side of law enforcement and cooperating in the capture of Craig and Kelly. When Craig and Kelly got to the Boston area, we know that they were in contact with this bodybuilder. But Craig went to get the oil changed on the truck, and Kelly was getting her nails done at the time that they were apprehended.
Craig is charged with the murder of Melissa James, kidnapping, and third-degree arson. Kelly is charged with battery, substantial bodily harm, and third-degree arson. Weeks later, dental records confirm that the victim in the trunk is Melissa James.
We think collectively that there never was this misuse of the credit card. There never was stealing. There was jealousy on the part of Kelly for Melissa getting more attention than really she should.
As the trial is about to begin, everything suddenly changes. Craig and Kelly both plead guilty. Craig is sentenced to 21 to 55 years in prison. Kelly is sentenced to 2 consecutive terms of 3 to 13 years. She serves 9 years and is released in 2017. The power couple divorced in 2009 while they are both in prison.